Hey there, YouTubers and collectors and fans of Mad Magazine. This is Salvador Los Angeles with my review of the Alfred E. Newman holiday action figure. Happy holidays. This is going to be sort of an Alfred E. Newman extravaganza because we're going to be looking at a few different variations of Alfred E. Newman. The first figure I'm going to show you before we break this open will be what I consider the quintessential Alfred E. Newman figure in this scale. And then we're going to get into the Just Us League of Stupid Heroes. Alfred E. Newman dressed as various DC superheroes. Those are so cool. I love them. This is Alfred E. Newman in a Santa get-up. We're going to have a look at this figure. Here's the packaging in the front. I'm trying to avoid the cast-off from the circle light. You know, these circle lights are good for selfies. That's about it. DC Direct action figures. There's a lot of stuff going on the back of the box. It says, Mad is embarrassed to present the nation's foremost idiot, Alfred E. Newman, celebrating the holidays by dressing up as the world's screwiest Santa. And then we have a little reindeer with thought bubbles, and the reindeer is thinking this. Reindeer is saying, Alfred E. Newman features 6 points of articulation and comes complete with these new useless props: a holiday ornament, a reindeer bird, and a 32-page Mad Holiday Special issue. I love that. One of the things I loved about Mad Magazine is the self-deprecation. I love it. You know, probably why Rodney Dangerfield is my favorite comedian of all time. It's all about making yourself the object, the brunt of the joke. And so I respect that always. In Mad Magazine were kings roasting themselves for years. And this is no exception here, where they just... useless props. How many figure companies would probably, you'd have to give them a truth serum for them to say such a thing. And yet, here's Mad Magazine dissing themselves, which I love. Go a little further down, it says, yes, Alfred and his special brand of holiday cheer brighten up the dreariest of households, even yours. So throw another log on the fire, or better yet, throw an issue of Mad on the fire and enjoy. I love that stuff. DC Direct, action figure created by DC Direct, DC Comics, Broadway, New York. For nearest comic shops, call 1-888 Comic Book. I don't know if that number's still good. I challenge someone to try that number and see what happens. 1999. And by the way, it doesn't say DC Publications, it says EC Publications. So very interesting. Action figures from DC Direct. We're going to have a look at this figure today. We're going to have a look at this one. If you love Alfred E. Newman, you're probably going to want to watch this video. You know, people often ask me, Salvador Los Angeles, if I could only get one Alfred E. Newman action figure, which one should I get? Well, the truth is, no one asks me that. But if anybody did ask me that, this is the action figure I would recommend because the scale is great. There is a larger Alfred E. Newman figure. It's almost more like a doll. It is freestanding. I'm looking at it right now. I just cannot access it. It's about 10 inches tall. And it's fantastic. But it's sort of a one-off. It's not part of a series. It doesn't really fit into other scales, whereas this figure that you see right here does fit into other scales, the 6, 7, 8-inch, 9-inch format without looking too out of place. There is a variation. There's a variant of this particular figure where he's wearing a white jacket and black pants, and I really should get that. I mean, it's the same figure. It just has different color clothing, but I gotta get it. So this figure comes also, with like a sandwich billboard, and he comes with all kinds of little signs that he carries around. So this is definitely, it's almost like a Alfred E. Newman playset. He has shoulder articulation, elbow articulation, a wrist rotation. I think that's it. He has knees, and then that's it. Now, I'm not going to go too crazy with the articulation on these figures because this isn't one of these things where I could just run down to Walgreens. You know what I mean? I mean, you break this guy, good luck. You're going to have to get a new one, and good luck getting a new one. They are out there, but, you're going to be paying for it. Oh, did I mention that his head moves? His head does move, but his head, I got to be careful on his head. It seems a little loosey-goosey. There's also a button on the back, and I don't know what that button is for. I do not know. I wonder if it's sort of a gag, like it doesn't do anything, but, they're messing with us. Typical Mad Magazine fashion, almost playing a prank on us. But that button doesn't even do anything, I don't think. So there you have it. Oh, he has holes, obviously. If he fits on the pegs, the display stand with the peg holes right there. I think his shoes are very much patterned after Converse All-Stars, of course, although they can't really put the logo. They kind of hint at it there. You see there, in there? Kind of hint at it. So he's definitely wearing Converse All-Stars. So I just got to look out. Okay, let's get into the Just Us League of Stupid Heroes. All right, here is Alfred E. Newman as Superman. Now, by the way, some of these figures, including this one, are redos, because this Superman, there was a previous release. We're going to see Batman and Robin. There was a previous release, and I believe, for example, the Flash figure I have was the first release. I think there might have been a second release. So some of the figures that we're going to see in this Just Us League of Stupid Heroes, Alfred E. Newman as DC Heroes, will either be the first release or the second release. In this instance, we have the second release, Alfred E. Newman as Superman, right here. Alfred E. Newman as Batman. And by the way, this is the second release. The first one was Batman in a more traditional blue outfit, as opposed to this here black one. And by the way, the cape, this is like a heavy-duty cape, but different than the Superman one. The Superman one, a little bit lighter, a little bit flimsier. This is sort of more of a heavy-duty, almost a, what would it be, a latex feel to it? Yeah, almost a slight latex feel to the outside here. So pretty good quality considering the license here. Now here's Alfred E. Newman as Robin. And again, this is also a secondary version, a reboot of the original. I believe that with these reboots, the hair is a little bit darker, whereas in the originals, the hair is a little bit more red. More of the traditional Alfred E. Newman color and hair on the original releases of these figures. And now here, this one, a little bit darker hair. There are variations, by the way. In addition to the hair, there are slight differences that you can notice if you look at the original versions versus the re-release versions. But both original and re-release have the totally silly and ridiculous and stupid, hence the name Just Us League of Stupid Heroes, oven mitts that he's wearing. They appear to be oven mitts. They could be, snow mittens, but I believe that they might be indeed oven mitts, which makes it even more silly. And here is Batman and Robin together. Next up is Alfred E. Newman as Joker. And I have the lights dim about as low as I can get them. You don't want to have the lights too bright, because then his face is going to get washed out because of the white makeup. But I love this version of this is one of it's hard for me to say which one's my favorite, right? Which one's my favorite? A lot of times people ask me, Sal, which one's your favorite Alfred E. Newman action figure? And the truth is, no one asked me that. So, but this will be my definitely in the top three would be Alfred E. Newman as Joker. In fact, I did a review of this particular figure. I'm going to have a link to that review if you want to see it. Green Lantern. I think this is the first version. I think there is a secondary version, which of course may have the darker hair. So here his hair is indeed a more red. Now, just to be clear also, lighting makes a big difference. The camera makes a big difference. This figure has actually darker red hair in person. The figure's hair looks lighter on camera. I don't know if it's the camera or the lighting, but whatever. Anyway, you get the gist. The colors are going to be a little bit different. I think also in the new version, this guy's sneakers are all green, if I'm not mistaken. Let's let him turn around one more time. I just want to make sure we see on the back, it does say Mad on the back of his, what is that, a tank top or a onesie maybe? Next up is Alfred E. Newman as Flash. Now, this is the first Alfred E. Newman figure I think that I ever bought. I stumbled upon this, discovered it somewhere, either online or in a collectible store. I don't remember. But when I first saw this, this is what got me started. I'm a big fan of Flash, or at least the outfit anyway, the look of Flash. Honestly, I don't know much about the source material, but I do enjoy the look of Flash. I do have a Flash collection. And so I actually initially got this to go into my Flash collection, and then realized, you know what? I love it so much. And then that's what got me into then the Alfred E. Newman collection. You can see the back is kind of open. His butt is about to stick out. I think those indeed are oven mitts. And he's got Mad on the back. And his wings on the side of his head are actually earmuffs, is what they are. Next is Alfred E. Newman as Green Arrow. He's got a lot of unnecessary props, as they would call it, or what do they say, meaningless props. He's got a slingshot in his hand. He's got what almost looks like a golf bag on his back, because I think there is indeed a golf club in there. And I think he's got the oven mitts as well. I think those are oven mitts. I hope they're not like snow mitts. I can't really tell. I think they've only released one of these. I don't think that they've done more than one of the Green Arrow. I don't think so. I don't think that they have. But again, I could be mistaken. But double check that. But loving the look, loving the whole ensemble, and loving all the silly accessories that he has. He's got a wrench and he's got a fish. I love the fish. On old Mad Magazine stuff, we would always see the fish bones, like someone would throw up and they'd be throwing up fish bones. So I love seeing fish associated with Mad Magazine. So very cool Alfred E. Newman as Green Arrow. Next up is Alfred E. Newman as Aquaman. Now this definitely wins in the silly factor. I mean, he looks just absolutely ridiculous. He's got a crab crawling on his thigh. He's got big flippers on. He's got one of those waist floaties in the shape of a duck. And he also has arm floaties on as well. And then he has, looks so stupid. He's got a lobster buffet or lobster meal bib on. And then instead of a trident, he's got some sort of pitchfork. And then he has one of those breathing things on his nose. This one is so stupid. This one really makes me laugh. He's not my favorite, but he probably is just the most ridiculous and silliest one. Obviously looking nothing like Aquaman. Being just a silly and stupid representation of Aquaman. And last but not least, we have Alfred E. Newman as Wonder Woman. This is definitely in my top 3 favorites. In fact, I did a review on this figure. I'll have a link to that. She has soup cans on her wrist. She has crime scene tape all over her. The rope is not a rope, but is actually an extension cord. And those boots, I don't know the origin of those boots, but definitely not Wonder Woman's traditional boots. Now, this one is obviously very special because this is the first time in our set here that Alfred E. Newman crosses the gender threshold. And we have Alfred E. Newman portraying a woman, in this instance, Alfred E. Newman as Wonder Woman. I love her, I love her, I love her.
3 weeks later.
All right, the Alfred E. Newman holiday figure comes with a removable Santa hat. Features a patch on top. Removable beard. And there he is, folks. Again, this is a long time coming for me. Oh, very excited to finally have him out of the package. Again, not going to mess with the articulation too much. Don't want to force it. He's got a beautiful Santa jacket, green pants, and the red and white Converse All-Star, or at least Converse All-Star looking shoes. Double peg holes on the bottom. Now, the Just Us League of Stupid Heroes did not have double peg holes, but only had single peg. I think this is the same head sculpt. Looks like it, right? Same head sculpt. So these are essentially almost the same figure, but one is holiday, right? Would you say that? One is holiday. let's have a look at his ornament that he comes with. Again, not to be confused with a spare head, but is actually an ornament that he can hold. And let's put the beard back on him. Let's put the hat back on him. And let's give him, let's have a look at the little reindeer friend. Non-articulated, but does have a collar. Very interesting. So let's have a look at his little friend standing next to him. And there you have it. All right, everybody, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did, going down memory lane and having a second look for me at these figures that have been part of my collection, but finally getting a deeper look into them, and especially reviewing my Alfred E. Newman holiday action figures. So please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video. Long live Mad Magazine. Long live Alfred E. Newman. Happy holidays and Happy New Year.